Matt Ellis for this is now the third game. Is there sort of an update on his status?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of an injury, so he's kind of day to day. So hopefully we can kind of came up in the middle last weekend, and he just wasn't right, so kind of had to get him out of there. And so hopefully here maybe Sunday, maybe Tuesday, if everything goes well. So no, he didn't do anything wrong. Just kind of banged up a little bit.
Obviously, Brody's a pretty good arm out there for Iowa, but was it just more him being phenomenal, or was there something off in your approach today?
No, I would say he was just pretty good. I thought we were super competitive to him. We did everything that a couple of times, guys got in between. We kind of did everything that we had outlined to do. It's just you have to establish you can be on fastball timing and then recognize the off-speed pitch from there. And we did. He threw the changeup a little bit more than I thought he would, especially to the lefties, which isn't totally surprising. But no, I didn't think we did anything necessarily wrong against him. Like you said, he's really good, right? He's really good. You don't see many college pitchers that are 98 to 100 as a starter. The sidearm guy was just a really unique look. I thought we could have been probably a little bit more competitive to him, but at the same time, I haven't hit in 10 years. So, you know, it's hard because when you face a guy like the starter and then you go to the sidearm guy, it's just such a different look. And you've trained all week to try to prepare yourself for something like that, or for the starter, and then that guy comes in, did a really good job. It was they did it on purpose, obviously, to change the look completely. And normally those guys, it kind of sinks a little bit more, and his kind of like it was a sidearm, but it kind of rode, especially up, and just did a great job. No, I really wasn't upset with us offensively. You do the best that you can. You compete the best of your abilities, and we had an inning or two where we had a chance, had a couple guys on base. You know, Bobby leads off with that line drive, second baseman catches it, and Devin gets a hit. We have a chance or have an inning and don't come through, hit double play ball. And so if the ball goes, you know, a foot one way or the other, all of a sudden you got a couple of runs and it makes it a bit more interesting. But, you know, there until the ninth, it's a really good college baseball game, and came up on the short end of it.
I don't want to use jealousy as the word, but when you have a guy throwing 100 miles an hour who's a pitcher out there, and you don't have like something to counter that, and you're kind of piecing it together Friday, or that's the best you can do, do you get jealous, or what's your thought when when they have somebody to throw out of Friday, you know, and you don't have the counter to it when someone's that good?
Well, I would say probably the rest of college baseball is jealous when you have a guy started throwing 100 miles an hour. So, no, we'll have guys that will be, you know, Connor Foley's going to be a guy that's going to throw really hard and be really good someday, and he's really good right now. So you know, you have to grow those guys up. They don't pop out of nowhere. You have to grow them up, and you have to develop them, recruit them, and they did a really good job. So, you know, we talk about 6 runs or less, and 90% of our games is going to give us a chance to win the ball game. And the reality is 6 of their 7 runs weren't necessarily unearned, but were handed between free bases, hit by pitches, and 2 errors. So if you make them earn all their runs, then we're in a 1-1 ball game in the 9th inning, and you got a chance there. So the one you know run that they essentially earned completely was the 1-2 homer to left center. So we have to do those things, and as we talked about before the game, yes, he's really good. Yes, he's going to win them a lot of ball games, but the reality is if we do what we should do as far as attack the strike zone, not give away freebies, take care of the ball, we're still on a 1-1 or a 2-1 ball game into the 8th or 9th inning, and you have a chance to win, and we just weren't able to do that. So, you know, more power to them. And but there'll be a time where we have guys. I don't know if it'll be 100-mile-an-hour guys, but we'll have guys that do those things. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys that have watched Luke Sennard throw this year and said, man, oh man, I'd like to have Luke Sennard too. So we'll get to see him tomorrow.
You threw a few freshmen out today that haven't had a ton of innings. Was there a certain point where you didn't want to throw some of your high leverage guys, and what was that point?
They all have the stuff to be able to get outs, and you got it. If you're going to run, essentially what we do is it's a very high school centric model where you're development centric on, you know, on in every facet of the game. So you have to rely on those guys, and for us to be successful in the long run of the season, those guys are going to have to give us innings, and they have really good stuff. You know, Connor Foley's 92 to 98. Yeah, he's going to have really good stuff. He's going to be really good. Aiden Becker-Petty's been good for us. You know, Katsky's is a really good breaking ball guy. He hung one a little bit, guy doubled it, but those are guys that have earned the opportunity to be in there, and they have good enough stuff to have success. And that for the most part, Padana did a pretty good job. They kept us in the fight, and eventually those guys will be guys that are high leverage arms, and will be in there in tied or plus situations. But you know, you're not punting, you're not giving it away. You're putting guys out there that have the stuff to get outs, have the capabilities of doing that, but they need to continue to grow and develop. And for us to do things that we want to do in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, they're going to have to be major contributors.
You guys have faced a sort of premier list of pitchers: USAVage, ECU, Holy Cross, Indiana State, Coupad, Ohio State, now Brody. Every pitcher is different, but were you trying to model your approaches after a previous guy that you've faced of that similar caliber?
Well, he as similar as he could be to USAVage from ECU. USAVage has more stuff. He's more pitchable. He's got more off speed, more variety to his game. The Brett kid just throws harder, right? It's just high octane. So it's all a little bit different, but for him, you essentially try to make him a 2-pitch guy and establish that you can turn the fastball around, and then try to make him uncomfortable throwing his fastball. So you do the best that you can, but he is kind of his own. He's his own entity. The Coupe kid from Ohio State, it's a slider machine. And so it's a shotgun spray fastball with a heavy slider dose. And if you just see enough sliders, it's a hittable pitch, right? It's metrically a good pitch, but it's not an impossible pitch to manage. And we managed it really well. We hammered it, right? The USAVage kid at ECU has 3 or 4 metrically elite pitches. He's got 1.5, right? He's got 1.5 elite pitches, and they were good enough to give us fits. Like I said, you do the best you can to model it after somebody else, but he's kind of a unicorn, and that's just the velocity.
Can I ask you, going with that, is that how relieved are you tomorrow to not face first Holy Cross, now Breck, 2 of the best arms you're going to see all year? How relieved are you tomorrow to see someone else who's a little bit lower profile? I mean, everybody's good, but it's not quite that profile you're seeing.
Well, if you saw the kid that we're going to see tomorrow, you would know that I'm not terribly relieved, because he's about as good. So metrically wise, the kid tomorrow is probably better stuff wise as far as like full pitch ability and stuff. So it is what it is. When you want to play at this level, you want to play at the national level, you got to put your big boy pants on and go play at that level. And you're gonna run into those guys. The thing that I take from it is, we play 5 or 6 freshmen and sophomores every day. What an awesome experience for those guys. You want to go play at the national level, then jump in the deep end and go. What did we throw tonight? What was it? Let's see. We threw 3 freshmen tonight on the mound and a junior. So it's like, you want to go play at this level, then go play at this level. And so those guys will grow up and they'll get better. I remember, my first year, I think at Indiana, we won the Big Ten, and I think we played Iowa's 8th seed in the first round of the tournament. So they didn't wake up overnight with first round arms. That was a process, and Rick Keller's an awesome coach and did a great job and built it the right way. And those guys are really good. So today's over with, and you have to move on, and tomorrow will be its own battle. I can promise you that.
You mentioned kind of the opportunities you guys had tonight.
Yeah.
You've got Luke Sennard going tomorrow. You guys have been so good on Sunday and at home.
Yeah.
What are you telling the guys after a game like this to kind of just maintain focus on the rest of the series?
Yeah, I just told them, when you watch a heavyweight fight, when you watch Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, you watch a heavyweight fight. It's 15 rounds. You watch a 15-round fight. The goal each weekend is to win a series. So the year we won the Big Ten, we lost 3 or 4 Friday nights, came back and won the series. Last weekend, we lost a Friday night, we came back and won the series. We're in a great spot on the mound. We're locked and loaded where we need to be at on the mound. The guy tomorrow is going to be really good, but a little bit more miss, right? A little bit higher free bases. So we have to take advantage of those things. And just told him, okay, so you live and you learn. Rick Keller's a great coach. The way they hold runners at second base, when we played him last year, I stole the system from him. I told him that. I called him afterwards. I was like, hey, because we're friends, big time deer hunter. I called him and I said, hey, listen, we're going to steal your system at second base, how you hold runners, just so you know. He said, that's fine. I stole it from somebody else. We haven't given a stolen base up at third base the entire year. So I told the guys the same thing. When you watch a good team play, so they didn't get free bases, not terribly, and they played clean defense, which is what we talked about we were going to have to do. We were going to have to play clean defense, although we made a couple of spectacular plays. I don't want to take that away. Glasser made a couple of really good plays. Cerny returned a couple of really good double plays. We played good defense. Bobby makes a great catch in left center. But we're going to have to play. We're going to have to play as close to air free as you can, and we're going to have to be able to not give them free bases on the mound. And so when you watch a team that doesn't give away free bases and took care of the ball completely, just watch and learn. Okay, so you live and learn and adjust. It's a 3-round fight. They got round 1. So you got, you know, my dad would always say, when something bad happened, you got tonight to sulk and mope about it, but tomorrow morning, put your hard hat on, grab your lunch pail, and go back to work. There's no place for for tuck-tailing and acting like a big baby. So you get up tomorrow morning, you play like a grown man, and you go back to work. So, and that's why I told him afterwards. I said, our effort, our intent, everything we need to do. We've played probably 30 games now. I didn't think we were as engaged as we should be on Tuesday. I thought we were tired and hung over from the travel in Penn State. I didn't think we were terribly engaged. And Indiana State's a great team, and no offense, like, we just didn't play to our normal standard. Today, I didn't have a problem with our effort. I thought we were engaged. We played hard. You ran into like an incredible arm who pitched like it and didn't give you any really freebies. And then we had a few mistakes that they're going to make you pay for. So you live and learn, just like I stole their holding runner second base system. You live and learn and get better for tomorrow and just go be as competitive and fight it out. The series is still to be had by somebody. And so we have to get up tomorrow morning with the intent to take the first game to now make Sunday a rubber match.
We'll take 2 more. Hey, Coach, going off of that, what type of adjustments are you looking to make for the rest of the series?
We just have to play good defense. You can't give away runs with real arms, with real pitching staff. They've got, if you look at Stuff Plus, you look at all the different metrics, they have one of the best pitching staffs in the country. It's not just that kid, it's the rest of them too. So you're going to have to play clean baseball and not give away opportunities. We get 2 outs in the first inning. We hit a guy, we make an error at third base, right? And now we give a single, there's a run. So you just handed it. Hit 2 outs and nobody on, right? We handed away a run in those moments. We get to the 9th inning and we make an error and we have 2 free bases. It's like you just can't give those moments away. So that would be the big thing for us. Offensively, we're just going to have to compete. You're just going to have to, you get this conversation because you'll hear guys online or gurus or you'd be like, well, I'm going to sit on a pitch and guess a pitch, right? Have you ever tried to guess when a guy's throwing 100 miles an hour? Like it's almost impossible to be able to do that. So you have guys that will have that conversation back and forth. Should you guess or just hit pitches or whatever it is? And the good thing is I think that probably puts it to bed. You're going to have to establish you can be on fastball timing and adjust down from there. So I think those are good things to live and learn through and then get up tomorrow and go compete to the best of your abilities offensively. Hopefully next time Bobby hits a line drive, second baseman is standing 6 inches to his right, we can lead off an inning with the double or triple and kind of have an inning from there. Morgan Cobb comes off the bench and has a double and a pinch hit, which was really big for us in that moment and gives us a chance. We didn't capitalize, but things like that. We're just going to have to start innings off well and then try to find a way to go finish them.
Taylor was the one to break through and get the hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty big to have your freshman do that. What was it that he specifically did to be able to break through and be the one to do that?
Yeah, Devin has great bat speed. Like really elite rotator. And so when Devin doesn't overswing, and which is easy for me to say because I can't hit the ball half as hard or half as far as he does, but when he stays simple, he's really, really hard to beat. And so you look at a couple of times when he'll kind of overswing or get a little bit big with his feet in his first at bat or two, but he stayed simple and is able to flatten a fastball. So that was the big thing I saw from him was when he just stays simple and trusts himself and use his God-given ability, he's really, really special. And when he gets too big, he's still special, right? Either way, he has success, but he has a chance to do really, really good things when he keeps his feet simple and doesn't overswing and just finds the barrel consistently. And that's what he did and turned around, I'm sure it was 99 or whatever it was, turned it around to his pull side. And he's capable of doing that against anybody. Good deal. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Ethan, your story's due at midnight.
Today?
Yeah.
What?
Nope. He said, shoot, I forgot to put it in Canvas. Tell him midnight since I screwed up.
I got 4 last one.
With your numbers in the past 4 or 5 games, do you think guys are starting to pitch to you a little bit differently? Do you sort of feel that up at the plate?
Yeah, they're pitching me well. Obviously, just haven't been swinging as well as I have been the last 5 games, but just getting back to work. It's sometimes just baseball. You don't swing as well every game, but that's why you have a 60-game season.
What do you see from the Iowa pitching staff so far this weekend? I know you guys have got another tough matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, Breck, you got tip your cap. He was on fastball and slider, and then the guy they brought out of the pen was a totally different profile, and got on you pretty well. So they did a good job, matching those guys up against us, and sometimes you got to tip your cap.
How hard, what do you call it? How hard is it to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball? I'm sure, obviously, Aroldis Chapman, I've seen a bunch of throwing it. Several guys in the big leagues, you don't see it often in college. How hard is it to do that in college?
Yeah, I think we're prepared for the fastball, but it is tough. Obviously you got to be on time and be ready to go, and stay super flat. There's not as much room for error as is 90 miles an hour, but 100 is still hittable. You just got to be a little more perfect with things.
How important is it for next game to kind of shift that momentum throughout the maybe first, second, third inning on those pitchers to kind of hop on and take the momentum from them? Like tonight, you just kind of got on a roll and then there was no looking back.
Yeah, I think we had a couple innings that we could have kind of broke open, and some things didn't go our way. And we know we're a good offense. We lost last Friday, came back, won the series, and that's the ultimate goal this weekend is to win tomorrow, and then win on Sunday, get a series win here at home.
Last couple of games, you guys have faced some ridiculous pitchers, only one run across. How tough is it to kind of keep confidence through all that?
It's just sticking to what you do every day. You don't get away from anything approach-wise or what you do. Sometimes pitchers, they make pitches, and obviously sometimes you hit the ball, right at guys. So just sticking to what you do, not panicking or anything, and just staying steady with everything.
What's the mood like in the locker room tonight, knowing that you have to do a quick turnaround tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously those guys, we're all disappointed to lose Friday here at home, but as Coach Mercer always says, you get 1 to 2 hours, and then after that second hour tonight, take a shower, everything, go to bed, and then tomorrow we got to be here early, and then just be ready to go pitch number 1.
You had quite a play there where you crossed over pretty much over into the 4-hole and then got that runner out. Can you talk a little bit about just how that went?
Yeah, I got a good jump on the ball, and then Cerny and I worked really well together, and we communicated as the ball was coming that I was going to take it, so he kind of let me take it. It's an easier angle from shortstop, and then Brock, with an unbelievable stretch.
Coach Mercer kind of talked about throwing a lot of freshmen in the fire, playing a really good team like Iowa, and playing a lot of freshmen. What can you say about the freshmen that have played so far?
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. The freshmen on the mound, they're attacking, throwing strikes, and trusting us behind. Obviously, the biggest thing with pitching is having confidence in your defense, and our position player group's a little more experienced, bringing 7 guys from last year. So, we know as a position player group, we got to be, on top of everything defensive-wise to give those guys as much confidence as possible, but they've done great.
You guys have sort of built up this reputation as a comeback team. Sometimes after losses, guys will be in here in the cages doing work. Do you anticipate some guys will be doing cage work tonight, or with the early start tomorrow? Is that just going to be handled tomorrow?
Yeah, everyone's got their different routine. I think most of those guys are going to go home, rest up, get in here early tomorrow, and get going.
Anything else for Phil? If not, thanks, sir.